All right, you're stepping into coaching. You're brand new at this and you want to know, how do I get my first coaching client? Well, I've helped many people grow their coaching businesses. I've got a coaching business and I'm going to show you a faster approach that will allow you to get high ticket clients a lot sooner. Now, this isn't get rich quick, but this is a legitimate way to grow your coaching business to 6 and then 7 figures. So let's dive right in. Let's start out by talking about the goal. You want to sell an outcome, not hours, okay? So you're probably tempted to have people hire you for an hour a week, right? And you're going to charge 50 bucks an hour, 100 bucks an hour, 150 an hour. It doesn't matter what the price per hour is, you don't want to sell it that way. Now, if you want to experiment with it, I'm all about learning, okay? So go ahead and do it. And you will like it. Like if you've never made $100 per hour before, then having somebody pay you an hour for your time feels very good. But there is a much better way, and let me paint a picture for you. Okay, so let's pretend instead of a coach, you're a therapist. Okay, you're a therapist and somebody comes to you and they've got arachnophobia. They've got this fear of spiders and they need your help because they work in a place where there's spiders and it can't work. Okay, so they need your help to overcome this. So you say, I can help you with that. It'll be this much per hour. Let's just chat each week until we get rid of this thing. All right, so who knows how long it takes, but eventually they do overcome their arachnophobia. Well, great. Let's say it took 17 sessions, so you made $1,700. Okay, here's the difference. Now let's say you've helped a couple people with arachnophobia. You've got a track record of success and somebody new comes to you with arachnophobia, or maybe they get referred, hey, I know somebody that can help you with arachnophobia, go talk to this person. So now they come to you, you have a conversation with them, you find out about their scenario, and you find out that they are a fit. And so you say, you know, I've helped this person with arachnophobia, I've helped this person with arachnophobia. I believe that the same scenario applies to you and I can help you overcome arachnophobia. The Overcoming Arachnophobia package is $5,000. We can get started right now. Right? So whatever that looks like, however you word that, that's the goal, is you want to sell the outcome, not the hours. Like, yeah, I provide arachnophobia coaching, you know, and you can pay me this much per hour and we'll work on it. Yeah, we'll get better and better at overcoming arachnophobia. No, you're going to sell them the outcome. You're going to overcome arachnophobia, because then they can look at that and say, man, you've helped these people and you can really do that? Yeah, I'll pay $5,000, right? Whether it takes 5 sessions or 50, right? If you know what you're doing, if you know how to overcome arachnophobia. So whatever the problem is that your target audience has, what you want to do is create that outcome and create a package around that outcome that you can then sell and describe. Now, you're talking about getting your first client. You don't have a track record of success. You don't have any experience, whether it's arachnophobia or whether it's helping people break 6 figures in their business or achieve this goal or that or improve their relationship. You know, whatever the goal is that you're going to help people with in your coaching practice, how do you get your first client? Well, this is what I did, okay? Let me just give you some background. Okay, I had this service, this YouTube service that worked really well. And I started offering coaching and they would pay me amount for weekly coaching. I actually put on retreats. It was a 3-day weekend retreat where they would come on Thursday night, all day Friday, all day Saturday. And people would tell me, this was amazing. When's your next one? I want to sign up. But these people that took my coaching and these people that came to my events, I looked at their YouTube channel and they weren't getting results. They weren't even trying. They weren't implementing all the things that they took, you know, notes on, furious notes on. So I decided I need to create a done-for-you service to really be able to hold their hand and help them get results. But it was a big package. It required a lot of steps, and so it had a higher price tag. I could not even sell it at cost. I could not sell it at cost. I tried to. So what did I do to get my first client of that larger package? I gave it to 2 people for free. Okay? I offered them a partnership. I said, here's what I can do, and if we become partners, we're going to share in future revenue of this thing, so you can have my services for free. I found 2 people to say yes to that, and guess what? The strategy worked extremely well. One of these channels on YouTube is now over 1 million subscribers. Another one is around 450,000 subscribers. They've been massive lead generations for years, generating millions and millions of dollars. So for client number 3, I could charge a premium. I could charge an amount that would be profitable to me. I could just show them my track record of success and they'd say, yeah, I want you to do for me what you did for them. Happy to pay that price. So do I really recommend that you give away a package of your service for free? I really do. I mean, how are you going to get a track record of success faster? Now, apply it to your situation. In my situation, it made sense to find a partnership, a way that I would benefit from, even if it wasn't immediately. Now, going back to my YouTube strategy, let me tell you about Noelle Randall. Noelle Randall is a very successful businesswoman. She has many businesses, and one of them, she teaches people how to invest in real estate, specifically vacation rentals. You know, how to get going with Airbnb properties. Well, she built her business to about $1 million in revenue in the previous year. She did that through Facebook ads, and ultimately she would lead people to have a one-on-one conversation with her either on Zoom or on the phone. And a percentage of those people would buy her coaching program. Now, her coaching program in the beginning was $5,000, and she had built that revenue to about $1 million in the previous year. We launched the campaign that I teach on YouTube, and within 2.5 months, she turned off her Facebook campaign, her Facebook advertising, because the leads she was getting from YouTube were so far superior. She kept doing more and more of these phone calls or these strategy sessions, and by 7 months in, she told me that she had a 2.5-month waiting list, and she was doing as many as 10 strategy sessions in a single day. Where these appointments were coming from is because she was ranking at the top of YouTube. Let me show you this. Okay, notice Noelle Randall in the top 2 spots here on YouTube. She's there when you type in a lot of searches like this: how to get business credit with poor personal credit. People who've never heard of Noelle before come to Google and YouTube and they type in questions and they're finding her at the top. Here's another example, Jason Hewlett. You type in that question, how to change the tone of your singing voice, and you find him at the top. Here you find Doug Andrew at the top. Here you find Jason Schroeder at the top. So Jason Schroeder is a consultant to construction workers, to construction businesses. And because he's at the top of YouTube for so many searches like this, this is a lead generator for his business. I have a free gift for you. Okay, so now that you know how to get your first coaching client and what my recommendations are, and you also know that there's this amazing YouTube strategy, I want you to learn that YouTube strategy. So my gift is this. I've created a mini course. It's a 32-minute video. You can go to natesfreetraining.com. And what I share in this video is a 5-ingredient strategy, how you can leverage YouTube to generate leads just like Noelle is doing and all these other clients. This strategy works so perfectly for coaches, consultants, and course creators. So if that is you, you really need to go take this course. Go to natesfreetraining.com. I'll see you there.